Okay, welcome back, guys. It's been a long time.
Season 2!
Welcome back to GMCT Podcast Season 2, boys! Season 2, Episode 1!
Season 2. Alright. Well,
Cheers, Season 2.
cheers. My water bottle. I'm being healthy this year.
Alright, guys, so let's get serious.
Alright.
There's gonna be no more fucking around in this podcast anymore.
Alright.
Serious subjects. I'm bringing finance to the table. We're talking economics. We're talking the stocks. We're talking the stock market. We're talking businessmen. We're talking
about coins.
We're talking briefcases. Alright? We're talking suit and tie. We're talking business.
Even bow ties.
Again.
That's what I'm...
We're talking business twice.
Nah, fuck that. Okay.
So what are we talking about then?
Today? Well, I got a couple of things on the agenda. Let's start with just like, it's been a year since our last podcast publicly posted. We recorded two. One that went out for a while, subsequently taken down by powerful overlords at YouTube.
Not, but
and and the other one, well, I don't know if you can explain that, but taken down and not allowed to be uploaded by another set of powerful overlords.
It was too saucy.
Yeah, it was too hot for TV. If we get to 1,000 subscribers in the next 3 weeks, we'll upload it.
Or subscribe to our Patreon. Which you don't have.
I don't want to spoil anything, but in the first 10 minutes of that podcast, I was completely 100% naked.
I forgot about that. So maybe, okay, legitimate goal. What are we at now? Like 60 subscribers or so? If we hit 100 after this...
Yeah, 70? Yeah.
If we hit 100 after this podcast, we're going to release... Humam will set up an OnlyFans.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
let's have a joint OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. Eric Onder just launched his own OnlyFans.
He just did, right? So yeah. Okay, we'll do a GMCT OnlyFans with some lewd pictures. Nude. Not for we won't do nude for 100 subscribers, but we'll do lewd. And then we might do nude for 1,000.
But we need some kind of shtick, like every OnlyFans.
Well, Nigel, you have a girlfriend, right? So
hey!
Our stick could be like Nigel's a cuck, right?
Oh, you guys are disgusting. Delete this. Edit it out, Mom.
All right, seriously though, back to the topic because I'm joking. Let's catch up with everyone. So I'll throw it to you, Humam. What's been going on since? Well, the last episode that's public right now is Christmas 2019 special.
Oh my God.
So, and then we have the best bits and a couple of the gaming videos, but no podcast since Christmas 2019.
Jesus, well, a fucking lot happened since then. I moved out. It happened around February of 2020. And then fucking lockdown happened. Didn't really enjoy anything living in.
And then you just ignored all the measures, obviously. So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ignoring the measures, someone was throwing a Corona party.
So I was gonna bring this up, right? So this may be irresponsible, but it wasn't. So that sounds like it was height of all the cases and everything, right? This was before we even went into lockdown.
Yeah.
Now it was 2 days before we went into lockdown, but we still didn't know that it was a serious issue.
Oh yeah, we didn't. Yeah.
Well,
I can't tell if that's you were there. You guys both came as well. So you can't fucking be on your high horse.
We're part of the problem.
I got fucking.
Well, this was at the very beginning. It didn't. I don't think anyone thought it was very serious, right?
Yeah.
And actually, no one at that party got it then. No one at that party actually had it.
Yeah.
People have got it since, but way further away, right?
Yeah. Well, I got sick and I wasn't able to come, so that was my last chance at a party before lockdown.
Well, actually, in the Netherlands, there has been parties, legally ones in the summer.
In a sense, yes. I mean, we did do your socially distanced birthday party in the back.
And that was allowed at the time as well, under the measures. So.
Yeah, but then at the same time, 5 people slept in one room. But I digress.
well, yeah. Anyway,
it was pretty. I can imagine.
We did our best.
I remember the snow.
Anyway, Humam, so you moved out. You kind of moved out twice, right?
Yeah. So I moved out to Enschede, where we study, and then moved back to my parents' house for like a couple of months in the summer, and then I got accepted for an internship at Guerrilla Games, makers of Horizon Zero Dawn. Sony fucking first party studio, all that shit. So I moved to Amsterdam in the same fucking year.
And now he's broke.
Which was, I mean, I was broke.
And now in financial
fucking
debt.
Amsterdam is so fucking expensive, mate. It's unbelievable.
Oh, mate. Whoa, is this new?
Ooh,
Did we miss
British.
something from last year? Or is this new lingo coming from you, mate?
Fucking hell, mate. You British.
British.
Fucking Peaky Blinders or something?
Fit and chips in it, mate.
Oh, you make fun of my
Be
accent.
decent.
But which neighborhood again were you in Amsterdam?
I was
Brooklyn.
in what Akon famously referred to as the ghetto.
He lived in the red light district.
Nice.
Because it's like super cheap to rent a window, so he was like, "Fuck it, okay, I'll just rent a window and not open it." Right?
I lived in the I think it's called Southwest something. It's like the
You live by where Ajax play. Like that's a good reference for people.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's way like more of a cheaper area, and even like it wasn't fucking cheap at all. But it was like 20 minutes by metro to like Amsterdam Center, so it was pretty cool. But I didn't get the chance to like enjoy it because like didn't even spend 3 weeks at Gorilla before the second wave happened, and then I started working from home again. And then when I saw that there is no fucking I was supposed to finish at Gorilla at the office by January, but by November or even by October.
Mm-hmm. It was October, end of October, like we went into hard lockdown, and we've been like that ever since, right? So
end of October, I was like, "Fuck it, there's no hope in sight," so I'm just gonna move out. But it didn't happen until like the end of November. Moved back, still in my parents' house. Now trying to move back to Enschede for the next year, before heading off to greener pastures after graduation. Yeah, that's been pretty much it.
all right.
Nice. Cool recap.
I'll try to think. Is there anything I want to ask you based on that? Are you at liberty to talk a bit about Gorilla? Because we can hit that later, or I'm not sure if you're allowed to.
Well, I can talk about some stuff.
All right, let's hit back there. Let Nigel go, and I'll go, and then we can come back.
Yeah.
All right. So with me, from 2019 to here, what the fuck did I do? I actually didn't know. I didn't do anything remarkable last year.
Well, there is one thing like you could say. Like you probably can't go into too much detail about it, but you can for sure say like what you're doing now.
Oh, that I work currently. That I have an internship. Losers. Ha! You guys are all unemployed.
Well, you're gonna make yourself sound like an idiot when you get to my turn if you keep going.
No. I'm kidding. Oh yeah, no. Other than that, there's really nothing else that happened.
You were back in Bulgaria for a bit, right? Like over Christmas and
I moved
and summer as well, right?
Yeah. So I stopped playing basketball. I went back to Bulgaria. Oh, like that was like a little bit after the lockdown happened, right? Mm-hmm. I went back to Bulgaria to take my chances, chilled there for a bit. Nothing else, just worked from home, did some schoolwork. And I just came back. There's really nothing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are in that boat though, right? Like pretty unremarkable year for most people, right?
Exactly. Like I feel like 2020 was such. It's like one of those moments, like you kind of just when you try to remember what you did that year, you think to yourself, what did I do? Like literally nothing happened. I feel like
it's been so fucking hard that like I have a problem remembering life before the lockdown.
Oh man,
exactly.
Man. Damn, I think let's catch up on that a bit later with I have like a section for it, but yeah, that's crazy.
Like, Rob, do you actually remember that you and I went with Bus and Tark? We went to Patty's in February. Do you remember that?
No, man. No. Yes, I do though now. Like, because that was funny, right? So, the side story about like I was chilling in bed, like whatever, hanging out. I think I had work, and then he texted me like, "Has to be 1:30. Has to be 1:30."
I don't
in the morning.
Yeah. Has to be 1:30. So he's like, "You want to go out?" I'm like, I was out last night, but I'll go again. Sure. So I just put on like some clothes and got on my bike, And as I was cycling in, I saw Bas cycling out because he was coming back from work. And I was like, what's up? And he was like, oh, what's up? I was like, I'm going to get some drinks. Do you want to come? He was like, yeah. So then, yeah, we met them. Stayed for a while.
Nice.
But yeah, that was February. I thought that was during lockdown, but like not lockdown, but I thought it was in the summer, like when Paddy's was open again, basically. But no, because we danced and stuff, and you couldn't do that.
Yeah. No, it was before lockdown because it was like at the beginning when I started living there. So it's literally my first like party or going to a club when I moved independently.
Probably like your last as well, right?
Yep. Yep.
All right.
So Rob, your turn.
My turn. I would say like relatively eventful year. Like not to be like my 2020 was amazing because there's been like really shit parts as well, right? Like everything.
It was sick, dude.
It was like I would say as a whole, I could class it as a good year. Probably the best in terms of gaming, like making games, the best year of my life, easily. So like professionally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I used to live with Bas and two other friends who've been on the channel, Alex and Mike. So in June, we all moved out from each other's houses, from living with each other because we all had different things to do. None of us actually live in Enschede anymore as of this month. But I moved to a city called Eindhoven because I had an internship, which I took in the summer until the end of the year. Because I was like, oh, it's going to be chill. COVID's going to be gone by December, or not gone, but we'll be able to internationally travel. I'll go home for Christmas for a while because I started my internship in August, which means I only had to do it until December, end of December, and then I could take the whole month of January at home to make up for not going home at summer.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that'd be cool because then I can go and I can party with my friends to a degree. It'll be cool, but that obviously didn't pan out. I haven't been home since Christmas 2019.
Holy shit.
So it's pretty cool, yeah. So I had this super cool company in Eindhoven that I work at, making pretty cool games. And luckily, at the end of my internship, they offered me a job full time. So I'm currently balancing that with school. So far, so good. But it's
some applause, dude. University's working, guys. He has a job.
So yeah, that works. It's so far so good, but it's week 2, so we'll see how it goes. But on the bright side, because I now have a full-time job, I can also afford an apartment, so I live alone now. Which after 3 months almost now, is way better than living with people, to be honest.
Yo, pan your camera on. Well, let's check your.
I don't think there's gonna be. It's difficult because my camera's in my laptop. Well, you haven't been here, Nigel, yet, though. But Humam, you were here.
Yeah.
So. How did you describe it for me?
It's an apartment.
Whoa!
Dude, you're such a visual designer, dude. You're such a creative.
It's so minimalist.
Yeah.
It's like
you have a wall.
Like there's a door that you open, and then there's walls, and then there's just big room, and then there's windows.
There is. How big is room though? That's the real question.
How big is room?
I don't know. I think big enough for one person.
It's pretty good. It's a 1-bedroom place. It's kind of expensive, but it's Eindhoven, and Eindhoven is pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Outside of the 3 Dutch cities that you would really know, like Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Den Haag, it's the next probably most expensive city.
I already forgot where it was. Actually, you told me last time. Was it relatively close to the center or something?
Yeah, 8 minutes biking, like a 5-6 minute bus ride. Right?
Yeah.
Roughly. Yeah.
Well, it is, I guess, close to the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not. It wouldn't be considered close to the center, though.
Oh, okay.
By Eindhoven. But realistically, in Eindhoven, there's not so much difference. It's €100 a month between close to the center and where I am, and there's not much benefit to being. I have everything I need, right across the street, basically. Yep. So.
What was your feeling like? What was your emotion? What were the emotions that you were feeling after you moved out from your previous home in Eindhoven?
Before you describe that feeling, describe your previous home.
Okay. I want to preface this because the guys still live there. All the guys that live there are great. You guys both met them. They're super fun guys.
Yeah.
They're
really fun.
It's not about the guys that live there, right?
Yeah.
I want to proceed it by saying it's not about the people that live there. It's about...
Disclaimer.
the quality of the house, and at times the quality of the agency that ran the house. Just that I feel like that they. So let me start by explaining. It's a house for 9 people.
Yeah.
There's no other space except
9 smelly ass people. No.
Exactly. There's no space except for a kitchen, which is super old and super dirty. There's a degree of the people that live there are not doing their dishes. Yes. There's a degree of it's super old and there's just dirt like stuck. There's just old dirt like there. Like you guys saw it, right? It wasn't like. And I would say you guys didn't come on a particularly bad day either. You know.
But the house huge, incredibly big.
I think you're overselling it though. It was for 9 people. You know.
Yeah,
so okay, fair enough. It's big enough for probably 6 to 7 people, but there's just nowhere to go except for the kitchen, and the kitchen is small.
Is pretty hellish looking. I guess.
The kitchen is the same size as the kitchen I have now for myself. Like put that in perspective, right?
Yeah.
And 9 people were expected to use it. Now I didn't use it. I bought an air fryer and a microwave.
There were 2 kitchens, right? There were 2 kitchens.
Nothing worked in that second one, and I don't know if you saw when you were there. It was just full of things.
Yep.
Like you couldn't actually get anything. So there was realistically 1 kitchen. And it's the same size, if not smaller than the kitchen I have now for myself. So it's crazy that they expected my people to use that. I basically set up my own cooking station at home, but it meant I couldn't really cook anything proper for half a year, which was pretty fucking terrible, to be honest.
Yep.
And as in the last couple of months, I don't even know if I talked to you guys about this, but like with the first few months I lived there wasn't 9 people there. In fairness, there was like 5, maybe 6.
No.
But then towards Christmas, everyone was there, all 9 people total. And there was 2 trash bins outside for us to use, and it's not enough. So there's just trash all over the backyard because you can't stay inside because there's no space. There's no space in the container, so you just got to put it beside the container. And if everyone does that for like 2 weeks, the backyard's full of trash.
Wow.
Fills up. Damn.
So that was pretty shitty. So yeah, probably the worst place I've ever lived in my life, for sure. And the place I lived at when I first moved to the Netherlands was pretty bad as well. So it's like it's a close race, man.
So what was the feeling that you now have your own apartment, you're all alone?
So it was busy as hell, and it was also Christmas, so it was kind of mixed emotions because, it was Christmas, and I would rather be there with my family instead of here on my own.
Very true.
So that was fun. I got the keys a couple of days before Christmas, but I couldn't move in until after because I need to get my furniture over here and stuff. Yeah, it was pretty. I was like, well, it felt pretty good because I'm paying for it through making games, you know?
Yeah.
Like me contributing to the production of a game is paying for this apartment. So that's probably the coolest bit, rather than the apartment itself, which is also pretty cool to have it. But I think just by the means that I'm able to have it is probably the coolest part.
You already feel independent and like already in control of your life, basically your starting point. You know?
Yeah,
like it feels like super good. Like you're ready. You know what I mean? Like you're pumped and shit.
Well, it's a good, like, I don't know. I get like pretty, not to like blow my own horn or anything, but I get pretty good endorsements like regularly at work. You know, from my colleagues, because I'm still a student. I'm balancing it, and they basically feel like I'm ready, you know? So
yeah, that's good.
It's good. Which is nice because I also, like, had some troubles with my study before, so it's, like, nice that I can gain some time back, you know? So it's pretty good.
No. Everything was worth it in the end, right?
Yeah, now just got to finish it, right? So
Yeah, true. You still got to finish. 1 more year, baby!
Yes.
3rd year, boys! 3rd year!
Yeah, gang.
How was, do you guys have any redos?
VFX, but I actually talked to didn't have many courses from Casper before, so I didn't know him that well or anything, but I had him for internship. Nice guy, super helpful. And I like checked out with him for VFX, like, yo, could I come to your classes, because he obviously knows my situation and like was actually really super stoked that I got a job there. And stuff, which is nice. If I could come to his classes because I can like dip in and out, like he knows why I'm dipping in and out if I ever do, you know? Like if I'm just there and immediately I just like dip out.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't see why it would be a problem, so that's nice. But just VFX and rigging, or not rigging, sorry, sculpting, but I have the assignment done. It's just, there was some fuckery with submitting it, so.
Well, Mom, how about you, dude?
Well, I the same. I also have VFX. I also had sculpting, but I managed to get that out of the way. Nigel, you helped me a lot with those sculpting. I learned a lot from you.
Yeah, I gave you tips. I gave you some tips. Yeah.
But you're like thinking about doing graduation on sculpting now, right? Humam? Like, because you learned so much from Nigel.
This is your actual dream.
I mean, not fuck sculpting, but like.
So not fuck sculpting, but fuck people that like it. So Alex, like, fuck you.
It's an amazing thing. Like there are some people out there that do a lot of fucking uber realistic shit with it, but it's not for me, and I just find it like a waste of time just working on it. But anyway, we're not here to dissect the education system now.
But actually, I have some thoughts about how it should be assessed as well. But whatever.
That's very insight.
From my professional perspective, that's.
Well, as a professional, as
a credited game producer,
as a pre-junior game producer.
Are your nipples getting hard, Rob, from telling that to people all the time? I'm actually a producer. Yes, I'm a producer. I'm a producer.
But on the sculpting thing, you guys saw the Unreal human fucking thing, right? Like, oh, that's sick. Can you get this up? Can you fucking get a picture
or whatever?
Not even just like a picture or something.
It'll either work or other fuck up the whole stream. But let's try.
Do you think this will be a game changer? I don't see.
Oh yes, no. So this is the kind of shit where it's like, you walk around a game and the NPCs look pretty average compared to the main characters. Like, this is going to change that, because you can just hit a button that's fucking generated. It'll make you a billion fucking NPCs, right? And then you can work on the main characters and give them different details. But realistically, they should have the same level of quality from that point, because that's the scopes are of a quality that a human can make, no doubt. They're just not of the uniqueness that a human can make, and that's the key difference. Why sculptors are always going to be needed, but this is just going to take, like auto rigging it was before, going to take the legwork out of making big open world games, in my opinion.
It's gonna make things a lot easier. The pipeline is gonna be a lot lighter.
Different, because also you could just be generate and then open it in ZBrush and edit it yourself, right?
Can you? Can you even do that?
Well, I assume you can get an FBX from somewhere, right? Why not?
Yeah. Even has LODs. Damn, this is already.
Are you sure this is it, Humam? I don't think this is it.
Wait, this is not.
I think this is it, right?
This is not.
No, this is not it. It's for Unreal 5 only. It's a new feature for Unreal 5.
God damn it, Humam.
Stop, I'm new at this. I'm not Jamie, okay? I'm just Jay.
God damn it, Jamie.
Let's switch back to the original one.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Well, I'll get a link in the description, or edit it in somewhere. Just a picture. Just get a screenshot of it, because it's crazy. And we can put a link in the description to the trailer.
Motion capture.
It is a game changer for, I think, VFX as well. The VFX industry too. Or like I mentioned, those crowd simulations, right? Because you can pop a bunch of very generic looking guys into a crowd now, but imagine being able to just hit generate. It'll generate you 1,000 NPCs or 1,000 models, and then every fucking person in that crowd looks slightly unique, rather than there's just some noise applied or whatever.
Exactly.
But that was kind of my year, pretty much. I can't wait to go to Ireland again. It's been way too long.
My PC is
have they opened traveling? Have they lifted the restrictions?
No. It'll be a while. It'll be midsummer, I think. We're watching you install something right now, right?
I'm not. This is the YouTube video.
Oh, really?
My computer.
Just switch back. Really, it's stuck on this?
It's really slow.
Professional.
Can you remove this for Christ?
Okay, let's move on. It's fine. So let's talk about what can you tell us about Gorilla? What, more importantly, what can you not tell us about Gorilla? Who are they hiding there?
Who are they hiding?
Well, there's a bunch of things that I can't tell you about. I can't even reference those, but all I can
gonna say, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 confirmed.
Dude,
world exclusive. Listen, you know the Xbox thing where it's world exclusive GMCT podcast.
Can you just not you just don't say that again, please? That will fucking
guys. Killzone 1 is going to come out on the PlayStation 1, guys. Holy shit.
Actually, Killzone is dead. Like, we officially, like, Guerrilla killed it officially.
So that's
Wait, that's actually. Can you even say that? Actually.
Yeah. No, the website is done. Is like the website.
Killzone is dead. Killzone is dead.
They actually got killed.
Okay, let's. In all seriousness, though, like what like. I assume you can give your like impressions about the company, right? Like working there. Yeah, right. So like, let's start with that. What's it like to work there? As in, is it good? Like,
the company was pretty good to work at. Like, of course, it's like at the end of the day, it's Guerrilla Games, and whatever experience you could take from it is like a massive experience on the professional level. There was some I don't know if this is like a hot
Story time.
Like, I'm not dissing Guerrilla. I enjoyed working there, and like I'm looking forward to work with them maybe in the future. But from my experience, I did not feel that interns were supported when work from home model was introduced.
From what you told me, I would, and based on my experience, like with my internship and now working there. But I'm coming from the perspective of a company that I was one of the first interns in quite a while, who's now opened up based on needing to scale up and having more junior people, and also like good experiences with interns in the past now, which wasn't typically always the case there. So I've been told, like I know some interns, more that they weren't bad or anything, they weren't like bad at what they did, but they had to be, because of their course content, way more focused on a personal project rather than actually being able to help on on what the company's working on. But so from my perspective, I think they didn't support you that well in terms of not in like your mental health or anything like that, but more like actually being able to do your work in an efficient way.
Yeah, that's the point. They for some reason they didn't allow interns to get access to the network, which there is some like understandable error in it. Like, I understand why they wouldn't do that, because there's a lot of like classified information, but also we signed an NDA, so like we're also like, I'm speaking for myself. All of this is just me. I'm not speaking for anyone else, but I'm speaking for myself. Like, I know that I shouldn't just tell anybody about like this fucking insane new announcement or something. But you know, I wasn't given the network access, so I had to work my way around like Google Drive and other stuff, which didn't only make things hard for me, but also hard for like other team members. Because like, if I need to work on, let's just say that like there's a cutscene in Horizon Zero Dawn, and I need to like edit a bit out from it, so I had to wait for another teammate.
Important to note that you were a video editor there, not a developer. Right?
Yeah, I was not a developer. I was a video editor. You can actually see my work on their YouTube channel.
Put him up.
All the community spotlight videos, I started that, and they're going on with it, and it's just a nice thing to see that, you know, I was the first one, you know, just like Ray J said, I hit that first.
Oh! And the thing is, now that they're getting divorced, is Ray J going to hit it again? That's the question.
Oh, Ray J is fucking winning with life. Like, did you guys know that Raycon is Ray J?
What? Okay, let's get back to that. Okay, let's talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
All right.
Yeah. But in terms of experience, like just knowing how, like, when I was working there, I was so fucking cautious.
I just want to tell you something. His mom told me he learned fucking nothing when he was there. He was like, he's like, every day he called me, he's like, I'm teaching them.
Don't blow my cover. Don't blow my cover. Right? I'm looking for like to work again in a year or something.
Why, so you can fucking teach them shit? Like you were saying?
Supervise you there?
What?
Was there actually someone there that was like a lot more experienced than you to teach you some stuff, or it was really?
As of like for the work that I did, there wasn't, pretty much, like because the franchise and community section or department or team of Guerrilla is like relatively new, and they're expanding, and part of their expansion is the interns, which is me and another guy, Jomi, shout out. But now
can we talk about that actually in a second?
Yeah,
I'll let you finish your point, but
we'll talk about it. So what happened is because they didn't give access to interns, it was so hard for like mostly all interns to work there, that for the foreseeable future, internship programs are done with Guerrilla. They prefer to take freelancers instead of interns. which is, like it's indicative of how hard like some companies were hit by the lockdown and working from home. But
I think it's interesting to say also like that. Interesting to see like the converse effect, because we're going the other way, right? Where our interns are going to be fully remote, even if the office opens again, like they're going to be fully remote.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah.
So it's like interesting how one company needs to go one way. I think that's a size factor as well, because it's so hard to track everything. Whereas there's less than 100 people at my company, it's quite easy to track where everyone is and what they're doing, right?
Yeah. But from like a company perspective, it's like so fucking well organized. It's insane. Like it's hard to sometimes remember that there's 300 people working simultaneously in this company. Like just everything. Like there's no confusion. There's no confusion at all with what's going on. And the new building is fucking sick. Like my study coach, who was also a teacher at our study, called Lucas, he was so happy being there. It's really like it has a lot of nice shit in it, and it's such a and it's so central. Like it's 5 minute walk from the dam, and like I was on the 5th floor, and I can see like the whole Amsterdam landscape in front of me. It was insane, but yeah, it didn't last for long. It lasted only like 3 weeks or something. But in terms of in terms of experience, it's really really good. I'm way more organized now as an editor, even if I'm doing like shit for my YouTube channel or something.
So what you're saying is we're going to consistently upload now because you're a better editor.
All right. I take that statement back. Humam, edit that out, please. And even with just like, because we're basically PR, it was really like weird seeing how like you have to contain yourself when you're talking about anything like on social media, because like it's a representative of the company as much as it's you. So even then I was so like cautious with like what I like and what I tweet and what I retweet. It's not that extreme, but because I work with like I worked for a company like Gorilla, as big as Gorilla, like I don't want to fuck this up, so like I'm just gonna be extra cautious about everything. But it's really it's a once in a lifetime experience for now. It could be a twice in a lifetime, shout out Rock and Cena. But
in the news recently, by the way, might I add, a lot. Just putting that out there. Mike Chioda making bank doing shoot interviews.
Yeah, but that's it's and the people that I met there, like my team is like really great, and
except for that one guy, right? You were talking about
who?
This one guy you brought up a lot. You're like, oh, he's a dick.
Yeah, his name is Jomi. Suck my dick, bro.
Let's get on to Jomi, because that's a funny story, right?
Yeah.
So I'll tell it from. It's mostly my perspective anyway, right? So I'll just tell it. So this was again in September, or even maybe the end of August, when shit was. You were allowed to go to the bar for a drink, whatever. So I was out with a friend of mine in Eindhoven, and bear in mind, so Eindhoven and Amsterdam, there's about 2 hours between, an hour and a half, 2 hours between. So it's relatively far away.
Yeah.
So I was standing in the queue to go in with this bar, just talking to my friend. Then these guys come up behind us, and I don't know, something happened, or they asked us oh, how long have you guys been here? And we're like, oh, 2-3 minutes. Then we just started talking. They were pretty cool guys. Started talking about what we did. I was like, oh yeah, he told me he's an engineer, and I was like, oh, I'm a game developer or whatever. I work at this company here. He's like, oh, really? A friend of mine is doing their internship at Gorilla. I was like, oh, where? What's his name? He's like, oh yeah, marketing and stuff. And I was like, oh, I think my friend works in the marketing department. I'll text him about it. So I texted him. I was like, yo, is this? I butchered the spelling. And I was like, is the other intern's name Jomi? And he was like, it was late. So next morning he was like, yeah, it is. So it's just a small world, right?
It's funny because I walked into the office, and then I walked before him, and then he walked after me, and then he was just chuckling, and then he sat on his.
Wait, did he know about it as well?
Yeah,
Did they also ask him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He sat on his chair, and I was like, and then I moved him like this, and he's like, my friends met your friend. I was like, yeah, he told me, and then we just started laughing. He's pretty cool
what
guy.
A coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were nice guys. I actually talked to one of the guys a couple weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
From them. But he's in Thailand now, I think.
In Thailand?
Yeah. All right, Nigel, can you talk any about your company, or do you want to? Well,
I'm still new. I really can't say a lot, to be honest. It's literally my third week. They
remade Crazy Taxi, guys. Please buy that game.
I got announced. Oh, I actually have another game coming out tomorrow.
Spiritual successor of Crazy Taxi called Taxi Chaos. See what they did there?
Yes.
It's not crazy.
Stolen concept. No,
It's I'm actually pretty interested on how.
So when are we going to get the keys, right? When are you going to send us the keys?
Hey.
No, listen, giveaway. We're going to do a giveaway. The 10th person to like the video is going to get Crazy Taxi 6.
Nigel, you're kicked out of the company.
Yep.
This video is sponsored by Chaotic Taxi.
Taxi Chaos.
What's it called again? Sorry.
Taxi
Chaos.
Taxi Chaos. Sponsored. All the views that are expressed in this video are the views of Taxi Chaos.
Some PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo's. Go and get it. But I'm actually pretty interested in how actually games just, I don't know, literally take kind of the concept of a very old game and just remake it, because it's not only Taxi Chaos. If you guys know Jet Set Radio, actually there's going to be another spiritual successor of it called, Bomb.
Is that by you guys or not?
No, it's by.
I genuinely thought the name of it is fuck. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like Bomb
Rush Cyberfunk or whatever it's called, and it's literally Jet Set Radio, and I'm like, okay, how does this work? Like, can you actually steal someone's almost literal mechanics of the game and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, you cannot patent a mechanic. You can't patent a mechanic. No, that's not a no. That's not a mechanic. That's not a mechanic. They've patented the underlying tech for that. They have not patented the mechanic. They patent the underlying tech that makes that work. You can't really like the thing is because it's a creative thing. You can say like a really similar, like nothing is the exact same. It's like a really similar mechanic that has similar dynamics,
but it's too simple.
But the aesthetics might be different, which already differentiates it.
Yeah, true.
Right.
For example, Taxi Chaos, Crazy Taxi, but like it's literally a taxi driving around New York. Like the whole concept is there.
Well, Simpsons had a game like that as well. Like they had a rip-off as well. You know, Simpsons had a taxi game too, right? I think it's like you don't want to open up. Listen, all I'm hearing now is like Nigel's like, come sue my company. Come on, how dare you? Come sue me. Come sue us.
Oh man.
You've been learning Blender as well.
Yeah, Blender's been. I don't know. Like, I understand why people are very excited about it. There are just some things that kind of bother me, but that's because I come from, the Autodesk. I come from like the Autodesk programs and more, more industry standard usually. But now I see Blender is a lot.
Whoa!
It's more industry standard than.
Are you calling your company not industry standard?
Standard?
Oh my god!
Are you saying they're not teaching you industry standard practices, Nigel?
They are. Edit it out. Edit it.
All right. We can move on.
No,
I can't say too much. I don't think I can say too much about my company because of the nature of the work. But yeah, we're working on some cool things, and I think in the not too distant future, we're going to be working on more of our public-facing image rather than our business-facing image. So keep your eyes peeled to my LinkedIn, and you'll find out. If you look me up on LinkedIn, you can find out. There you go. I won't say it, but follow me on LinkedIn. Links in the description. You better link it, like legit link it in the description.
Imagine YouTubers just linking their LinkedIn.
No, go connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm open to some pro bono advising.
You guys want to join my pyramid scheme?
Yeah, listen. As long as you get people to buy in, you'll make money. Trust me. It's not pyramid selling. It's an investment. All right. The next thing I got up is something I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you guys. Maybe I told Humam, but I don't think so.
All right.
Something no, I definitely didn't. I've been sort of toying with it's not like that big, but it's like gonna change the way I look. What?
I said, are you toying with yourself? Whatever. Edit it out one, please, for Christ's sake. Go ahead, Rob.
No, just don't react, Rob. Don't react.
Yeah, we got a comedian here, I see. Try to tell a true story. Try to tell my journey to this point, and Nigel... No. So, you guys saw, or I don't know, maybe Nigel you didn't, but the measures in the Netherlands are relaxing a little bit next week.
Yep.
Hairdressers are going to open.
Okay.
So we can get a haircut. But I'm also going to get my hair dyed when I get on the 9th of March.
What?
What? Hair
What
dyed?
What color?
Yes. I'm going to get like
What's the color?
Like,
which color?
if this video gets 1,000... No, so... I'm gonna send you a picture and then just like pop it up. All right.
Is it bleach?
It will be bleached. It will have to be bleached. Yes, to get this color, it will have to be bleached.
Okay. Is it a personal choice?
I want to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So like pop that image up. That's what I'm going for. Like, what do you mean? No one's forcing me to do it. Like, I just think it's fun.
That is bleach.
Yeah, that's what I said. It needs to be bleached to attain this color because my hair is dark and it's getting light. So, all right, just pop it up. We can cut
He
this.
gets 69 likes. Rod will paint his swastika on his hair.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Well, in fairness, it does look a little bit like Frosted Tips.
But it's not. It's gone, by the way.
It's gonna be this color?
Well, I can't see it though. Is it there?
Like
It
the
should be
white?
there. Wait a minute.
No, it's not there anymore.
It popped up very briefly.
God damn it, Humam. Just share your whole screen.
Stop. Okay, I'm doing my best.
God, Jesus.
God.
Then we gotta replace this asshole. I said you replaced you like 10 minutes ago now. Come on, what the fuck?
Wait.
There it is. There it is. It's there. Just don't touch it. Oh my, it was there.
There you go.
Okay, it's really zoomed in now. Okay, yeah.
But this is it, yeah.
But not. It's not just. I'm not gonna go like as in this whole thing where it's like dark underneath and on the sides as well. You know.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you stole my. I was planning to do this in secret, so.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I already have the.
Wait, are you gonna dye your hair?
Yeah, not now. Well, my plan is to like get in shape and then buzz this, not buzz it, but like cut it short, just like I did like October 2019, and then also like bleach it.
Are you on the hunt? Some
What?
shit, dude? Are you gonna go Tinder hunting?
Why?
Like, I don't know. Like image. That's a lot of image changing. You know what I mean? Your whole.
Well, why the fuck not, dude? Well, I mean, I'm looking up. It's thinning, so like, let me just make the best out of it what else I can.
Anyways, what do you guys think of the idea?
I think it will look good on you.
Very little response here.
But I think you need to get a little bit of tan to make it look. I think it will make you look tan, actually.
Just be me, man.
Oh yeah.
So I'll try to be me.
So we'll see. We'll see how it looks. It's gonna take like, to be honest, like if it doesn't look good, I'll just a few weeks later start the process of like getting it back to a darker color. Because like when you go from brown to like bleach like this or blonde, you gotta to go back. You gotta dye your hair progressively darker colors because it won't just automatically go.
Okay. Yeah. I heard that bleaching can be a very dangerous procedure if not done well.
That's why you're gonna go to a hairdresser, right, Rob?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I booked it for the 9th. So we'll see. Let's record an episode on the 9th. Because then I won't have time to fix it or anything. So yeah, that was what I wanted. That was my one topic that I had to bring to the table. I was thinking about it on think Sunday night, and then like I thought about it until yesterday, and then I booked the appointment yesterday. So
Not bad,
like,
man.
That's pretty.
what's the worst that can? I didn't tell my mom yet. I like.
Oh my God.
I told her. I told her like, yeah, they're opening the barbers. I'm gonna do something a bit different with my hair, and she's like, oh, cool. So I didn't tell her yet.
Change your whole hair.
Well, I told Owen, who's been on the podcast before, like just between Nigel joining and Boss Leaving and Nigel joining that middle podcast when Owen was on. Every time I told him about it, and like when he's like, if it doesn't look good, just buzz it off, man, just cut it all off. I was like, no, that's like no, I don't like. And then I think yesterday we weren't even talking about it. I just like someone said something about hair. He's like, yeah, man, if it doesn't look good blonde, just shave it all off. I was like, why is that? Like you're going for such a radical solution there. Like I can just get it dyed again. And yeah, like,
Yeah, start over. That's elite.
He's like, bro, listen. He's like, just kill yourself. And
if life's not going well, just do it.
And you'll pull the trigger. And you'll respawn, bro. You know.
Respawn.
Gamer terms.
We're gamers.
Absolute gamers.
So guys, Fortnite sucks.
Actually, I'm gonna hold you to something.
Yeah.
We have much more time to go. This is a bumper episode, by the way. A bumper season 2 premiere. It's got to be a bumper episode. Well, I'm gonna actually hold him on to something because he told me he had a certain footage of a video we recorded like middle of summer last year. So I'm gonna hold him to at least editing it, and then we can watch through it. Super Seducer reaction video.
Oh shit!
Oh my
I'm gonna hold you to at least editing that together, and like at least releasing like there will be at least like a minute and a half of usable footage from that. So I'm holding you to editing it and releasing, and we can really let's watch it first because I remember there's probably some controversial shit in that. Like it's awesome.
I haven't seen it, but I think it's pretty tame.
Oh yeah.
We're just going like. I mean, we only get asshole-ish when there's an asshole answer on the.
Yeah, so it's his fault. Let's blame that guy.
Yeah, actually, Super Seducer 3 is out now for some reason.
All right, so if this video gets 1 million likes, no. All right, so if this video gets 101 likes, so 100 likes, OnlyFans. 101 likes, Super Seducer 3 reaction video. But if it goes over 100, then no OnlyFans.
We also have recorded unedited footage of Nigel watching famous wrestling matches for the first time.
Do we have the wrestling matches recorded?
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I think let's do it. Let's do
This is just an episode of what's in my hard drive.
Okay, what's next? Nina Harley, just look it up on your computer and see what happens. Okay. Yeah, so I want to hold you to that to let's get that up. And I'm a conversation that we had, Nigel, that we'll have with you live on the air. I think we can pull 2 videos a month from now on.
Okay.
Is that what you said on the last one?
Are we gonna talk channel strategy live on
We're going to talk channel strategy. No, like, this is a promise.
Oh.
Because I think it's like one pod and one other, like that's doable.
I think so, yeah.
So if this video gets 1 like, 2 videos a month until
if this video gets 1 view.
So the plan with what Rob told me is like I will edit the podcast and then Nigel, you have to edit like a full feature film complete with like Marvel level VFX.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Just hit like VFX Marvel on Blender and then everything just works.
So I thought you were legit going to be like, I'll edit the podcast and Rob will edit all the other videos. I was like, no, the other videos are so much harder to edit. Like, come on.
Nah,
the podcast is a breeze to edit, so.
I'll do the fun videos because I'm the fun editor.
Yeah, true. I'm a bit more like even if you look at our the videos we did, like the Love, Hate, and Humam Kind, the 2 comedy things we did. Mine is cut straight. Like I think yours is more ridiculous, and mine is cut like nothing's played for laughs, but it's not cut for laughs either, but it's funny, you know. Like everything in it is not played for laughs, basically.
Yeah.
Probably maybe like biting the potato is probably the only thing I can think about, but everything else is like played straight. But the humor is just in the situation, whereas I think yours is like played for laughs and edited for laughs, which is like the different stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. And fun fact, in Love and Hate, when Rob puts beer in the pan and then it cuts to me saying, "Oh my god, it smells."
That wasn't a cut though. That was just a clean shot. So.
When you hear me just cussing because of the smell, that was just genuine. I wasn't even acting.
Yeah. And I really ate that meal as well. Link to Love, Hate in the description.
Sure. Yeah.
You're gonna have so much shit to add to the description now. So,
link to the channel. Link to the
recipe.
Link to the Gordon Ramsay episode we included.
Yeah, link to my Vimeo in the description.
There was what was it? Didn't we watch like a series together?
Oh yeah,
we had watched CSI Miami. You know what? Like, I think we could do that as like, if we don't have a podcast idea, we could totally just do that. Like, I think a better idea. You know what? How about? Because I think okay. Let's talk about this afterwards. Possible CSI Miami content coming.
All right.
I did find some high quality like episodes, so like
Yeah.
I can start.
I have an idea.
But
let's talk about that later.
Speaking of relaxation of lockdown, which takes us to lockdown. Actually,
which was my next point on my list. Actually, so
two of us here had actually contracted the novel coronavirus.
The Corovid virus, as I like to call it. It's the hybrid name.
I contracted
the Wu-Tang virus.
I got it around October, and Nigel, you got it when exactly?
January, end of December, January, right?
Yeah, a little bit. The end of January, actually, mid-January, end of January, somewhere around there.
So yeah,
I forgot already.
Now actually, all my family has it, but they're all recovering. But
That's good to hear.
I think it would be a fun
except for that one cousin, right? But that wasn't from COVID, right? You just like.
No, she was.
That was like that was a religious thing. Right?
Yeah, she was a girl, so we had to like off her. So. So let's talk about how Corona was for both of us.
All right. So I guess let's start with I'm going to start with okay. So I'm going to ask the question like who want me to answer first, and then Nigel. So what was like your initial symptoms? Like why did you get tested? Let's say like why did you get tested?
So
I haven't had it, but for context, I haven't had it.
Okay, I didn't get tested because I felt sick. I wanted to get tested because I stopped tasting at all, and that was like okay, that's and I didn't even know that was a symptom, but I remember like 2 days ago, I think The Rock had it, and he was like talking about like how he lost taste. I was like, wait, that's an actual symptom, and then I started having it. Like, okay, fuck, this is it. When I got tested, actually, I was like 2 days before.
Before you were filming season 34 of Ballers.
I think it was 2 days before like my 14th day, so I was like already recovering.
I thought you were gonna say 14th birthday. I was like, what?
So I was already recovering.
So you were like you're well into adolescence at that point, and
yes,
was in full swing.
Yeah, the virus is so intense, like it grew me like fucking I don't know.
It gives you puberty. Yeah. He has 6 balls now.
I have this mustache now. Am I right? Like,
sorry, God.
But yeah, that is by far like the only because other than that, I was just like it felt like a flu. Like my nose wasn't even that clogged most of the time, but I was just tired and like just didn't feel like I want to get out of bed. And there is some like the asshole part about it is that in the second week it like makes you think that okay, I'm feeling good, and then like you go down again. Some people get it worse, but like for me, I just got tired just out of nowhere, just one day. But yeah,
I remember watching the Trajordi because he never got tested because he reckons he got it in February.
Yeah,
which is obviously just around the point that we started to go into lockdown, etc. So there was very limited cases in Europe, except for Italy at that point. Yeah. And he said he reckons he got it. And like he said, he was like he had to buy a new mattress afterwards because he sweat so much. But what I thought Trajordi said was like something a friend of mine said who had it as well. He said that on the 3rd day of having it, that he knew he had it, he really fully understood why old people die from it.
Yeah.
Like he really felt like that this could go the other way even for him.
That's the same thing that happened with my dad recently. Like on the first 2 days he was good, but like on the 3rd day it just all went downhill from there. And the shitty part about it is that it's a very slow recovery. Like every day since like you go down, you feel like just I don't know 0.1% better every day, but until like there's at least 14 days for like moderately healthy people. After the 14th day, you're gonna start feeling more like yourself, and then gradually get better. But I still for like until now, I still feel that I cannot take as much of deep breath. But I think that's also a cause of me like not moving a lot. So I'm exercising a lot recently, and I feel that my breathing is better. Yeah. So yeah. Hopefully.
What about your taste? Is it back? Because I heard some people that really takes a very long time for it to come back.
Yeah, it got back like before the 14th day. Actually, I didn't notice the taste, but I noticed the smell because like I started tasting before the smell came back, but then I was like taking a shower, like holy shit, I can smell my fucking shower gel, Then it just started coming back gradually.
So
yeah.
was it like strong stuff at first you could smell, and then like it came back, like with more mild stuff, or
I couldn't smell anything. Like
no, but I mean like when it started to come back, was it like you could smell onions or whatever, or like vomit, and then later on you could smell like.
Why did you think of vomit?
I was trying to think of stuff that smelled like putrid, you know.
I don't even know how vomit smells like.
It's different per person and what you eat. I guess. It's just it smells like bile, right? Like stomach fucking acid.
I think I just started like smelling things that are very like scented, like cologne, deodorant, like shampoo, shower gel. But then I just like stopped like noticing how fast it's coming back. The taste was probably like I don't know, for some reason I was more worried about the taste than the smell, because like and fucking Ekin, shout out Ekin, the first thing I told him like, hey, I don't taste anyone, was like, yo, you know, like some people never get it back. I was like, thank you, dude.
You were like he was like you text Ekin one day, you're like, I'm sad, dude. He's like, yo, you know some people kill themselves from depression.
I literally drank or like I told my sister to like pour me something that like you don't normally drink, so she poured me pickle juice and I drank it and didn't really feel a thing. So that's how extreme it is.
That was the heroin. Come on. All right, Nigel. Like, so what was yours? Well, so I think your situation is a little bit different because you just got in contact with someone that had it, so you got tested, right?
Yeah. So, so that was like when? That was like December, basically. When I got back. When I got back from the Netherlands, back home in Bulgaria for Christmas, 1st of December, and I actually got. I believe I got the. It's not that I don't know. I got my. I got COVID from my mom. I got contracted it. She had COVID, but very fortunately she recovered from it. She beat it. Fuck COVID. She was actually in a very. Yeah. She was.
Shout out, Mom.
Shout out, yeah. She was actually in a very, very severe state. So the story is that I had to take care of her. I had to like cook, bring her medicine, go out, bring her medicine, shit like that. Get groceries. Was pretty, a bit hectic because I also had like stuff to do. But my mom, for Christ's sake, so I had to help her.
Yeah.
But eventually, things got very bad because at that time. When she got the virus, it's the same thing like with mom's dad. Like first 2 days, it's fine. It's just a bit of a I got a bit of a high temperature, but then the third day, fourth day, you start actually feeling it. My mom actually experienced it because every day I was asking how are you doing?
Yeah.
Things were getting very bad. Things weren't going well after the first week, and I was like, okay, maybe the second week could something could turn around, and then no, that actually the exact opposite. Things got even worse, and we had to go to the hospital. Yeah. So after I dropped my mom off into the hospital, they the doctors booked her, or what it's called, assessed her. Yeah, she had like COVID and pneumonia, so it already like developed in that more fatal state. So things were getting pretty serious. So the doctors got her. Thankfully, my mom knew all the doctors because she worked there when she was young, and literally all the doctors there were basically like her old pals, which is sick. So
do you think that was like a factor in the quality of care? Like genuinely, I'm just curious.
No.
Or do you think like they just maybe came to her first rather than other people?
No, I don't think there was any of that. But it felt. Like in terms of
I understand the nice part, but I'm just curious because I know like a lot of people that I know, from Eastern European countries, are bemoaning like how it's pretty corrupt
in Syria.
There,
the same thing.
It is very. In general, it's very corrupt. But no, I did not see that when I was there. People like not a lot of people got infected in Bulgaria like per day. We had the capacity, but just. We cannot. Our hospitals are not that well equipped for a sudden big wave. Because right now we're getting a lot of infected, right? But not this huge amount, very small time. That's when things get serious. But I think the doctors that were pre-organized actually went to the hospital, so that's where I actually got tested. After I dropped off my mom, The second day, literally after my mom, I went back home and I started feeling a bit like weird. And it's and I'm like, that's really weird. Like after I dropped my mom off to the hospital, I started feeling funky. And the next day, I checked my temperature and it's like it's way above the norm. And I was like, all right, well, here we go then. This is it. This is the test now.
My time.
Nigel sent me a text. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna die, dude."
No, I was getting worried. I was like, but I knew that young people wouldn't get it, wouldn't get severe. So I went to the hospital, right?
Well, it's actually not always necessarily the case, though. Like some young
yeah.
But anyway, it's kind of besides the point.
Yeah. So I went to the hospital, right, and I immediately went through the testing. They got blood from me. Not only a PCR test, they got blood from me, and they also did an X-ray scan on my lungs.
Okay.
Which was kind of surprising because I thought it's just PCR test.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my god, I hate PCR tests.
Do you think that's because
I got one today? It's fucking.
I've never had one.
You don't want to. It's not fun.
They touch your throat through your nose. I'm just gonna put it like that.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, I hope to not get one. Like, luckily, where I work is not going to require me to get one.
Yeah.
But I know, for example, like Ross, who at least you guys have both met Ross. Ross, a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He, the person that makes lunch, the lunches at his company, got COVID. So every single person at the company had to get tested. So he easily had like a few because of his work, and he's been back to Ireland a couple of times as well. So yeah, like I hope to not have to get one. But if it was like, yeah, we're open, we're pretty sure it's safe, but you got to get tested. Like, fuck yeah, I'll get tested. Like to go somewhere.
Yeah. It's just kind of. I to be honest, I would prefer to get, to get blood. You know what I mean? For them to get
really?
blood from me. I prefer that than PCR because it's so bad.
It's fucking It's not. I mean, today I was lucky that I got like a guy who. I don't know if he's bad at his job or he's just really good, or like it made it feel like less painful. Like
he was gentle with you.
In like when he did my throat, it was like I didn't feel anything. The nose I always feel because like I have I forgot his name, sinuses. So like I feel more stuff and my noses are sensitive. But shout out to this guy. I don't know what the fuck his name was, but
Stephen or Boss or. Generic Dutch name.
Probably Timon or something.
Yeah. Timon Almelo is his full name.
So, back to what I was saying. So, I got X-ray tested, right? And so I sat there waiting with a nurse, and who's also a friend of my mom's. And I started looking around, the hospital. Things weren't that filled up. I thought, because in the news, they were all like saying, oh, it's dangerous and whatnot. It's
and for reference, it's in Sofia, right? So the capital.
Yeah, this is Sofia. This is the capital.
You assume is the busiest place.
And so I went to one of the major hospitals called Okružna. It's one of the oldest ones as well. And I went there. It's not that packed as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like full of people like that, but no, like it was kind of chill. But after I got back home and like after 3 days, things started getting worse. So I kind of like evaded that, thankfully. But either way, so I got X-ray scanned, right? And I was like, I feel good. Like I just had a small temperature, and like I'm kind of feeling better now. Literally a day after I saw that I had a above the norm temperature. Either way, I got X-ray tested, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you got a pneumonia." And I was like, "Oh, sick, cool, sick, cool." Pneumonia? You said? Oh, that's like.
How, like, was it did you cough as well? Like, was it with...
Yeah, I coughed,
Okay.
but it wasn't that a lot.
Okay.
So the doctor said it was like super early stages of pneumonia.
That's good.
Here's a list of like 50 medicine that you have to drink now. And I was like, all right, sick. Cool.
That's
good.
But I got scared. I was like...
Crack, cocaine, speed,
because
meth.
in the Netherlands, they don't have the prevention, like, they don't follow the prevention method. They follow the, like, just cure method. Like, my dad called them a couple of days before his cough got worse, and he said, I have the cough. Can at least just like see my lungs? And he's like, no, it's okay. The cough is normal symptoms. We're like, okay, cool. And then 2 days later, his cough was like so intense, we had to take him to the ER, and he got pneumonia. But thankfully, he's now he's recovering
he's
from
a lot
it.
better.
Yeah, but like,
but he's not in the hospital, right? He's
no.
recovering from.
He came back the same day. But yeah, like, I don't understand. Like, there's probably some philosophy or mindset behind it, but the Netherlands just takes too long to actually start curing.
So I think the reason is because the hospitals are actually crowded here.
Yeah.
Like with COVID patients, they are actually, and they're trying not to because, like, indeed, in the last year, stuff like cancer treatments have slipped, and they're trying not to have the the casualty of having a bunch of people with COVID in the hospital cause an increase in deaths from something like cancer, for example, which has happened. Like, even the amount of people that have been screened for cancer issues has, like, severely dropped, which means inevitably, like, more people will die from cancer. Yeah. So I think even when you look at the total deaths as a result of COVID, it's going to be a whole lot higher from things like suicide and unseen stuff that would have been seen through regular doctor checks as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think the impact is a lot more severe than even what we see right now.
Yeah, but it's like I'm trying to think even before COVID. It's kind of like the same situation, maybe less like waiting time, but I think my dad had like pain in his head or something, and he had to do like a scan. But like when he had the pain and he went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Okay, I referred you to this specialist in the hospital," and the scan came like the appointment for the scan came like 3 weeks later.
Really, that's like really opposite to the situation I've had in the Netherlands. So I tore ligaments in my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty crazy story, kind of. I can tell the whole thing, I guess, because I don't have a COVID story, so I'll tell this one. So I was at rugby training, and normal training, but I tackled this guy, and he sort of slipped out from underneath me, and I drove my shoulder right into the ground.
Yeah.
And this one actually, and then it got really, really sore. I had to stop, and our physio. This was the year, so we were in the 3rd division, and then we won that season. The season later, we won the 3rd division, and got promoted to the 2nd, and then the 2nd division, we had enough money to have physios there at every training. But before then, we only had enough money to have physio there at one training for like 30 minutes before training to see people from the match previous week. So he'd gone. So the only person there was like a trainer who was a personal trainer, like professionally, and he trained at the rugby club. So he knew kind of like about the bone structure and whatnot. So he just like put it in a small thing and was like, "Oh yeah, like you're not in that much pain. Doesn't seem too bad." But it was like pretty sore. But I was like, "Oh, it's not that bad." So I chilled in the clubhouse because there was a rugby match on. I had some beers. The beers quelled the pain. Cycled home with one hand. Pretty chill.
I mean, whatever. That's a sign that you need to check it if you only.
Well, like because it was sore, right? But I was like, oh, my thing was like, it's not too bad. It's sort of moved. I'm gonna give it to the morning and see what happens. And if it's bad in the morning, I'll go to the hospital.
Okay.
However, I get home. This was 2018. No, sorry, 20. It was just
2019.
2019.
2019. What?
Yeah, no. Pre-corona. Yeah. This is all pre-corona.
It was pre-corona, but.
No, 2019.
Could be early. Could be early 2019.
I think it was early 2019.
Doesn't matter.
The sling. Right. No, it was 2019. Pardon me. Yeah. You know when I was in the sling, right?
Yeah, 2019.
2019. I get home that night. I'm just about to crawl into bed. I'm a little bit buzzed from the beers. I was there for like a few hours. And I get this text from my mom. My stepdad's dad, who's my granddad, had died that night. So then I'm like, well, like that is a really shittiest part of the story, but the point of the story is about my shoulder, so I'm not gonna delve too deep into like him dying. But nonetheless, they're in Ireland, so I had to. I woke up so I booked a flight immediately for the next day, and then I went to sleep. Woke up the next morning, my shoulder was like completely fucked, like really fucked up, even way more sore and stiff than it was the night before. But I had a plane to catch, so I went there, and then in Ireland, funerals are like 3-day things, and I got in the day before the funeral started. In the midday, so not enough time to see a doctor or anything.
Yeah.
It was sore, but I was just dealing with the pain because it was like a lot more going on, and like emotionally, it wasn't feeling that bad because like obviously I was upset and everyone was upset.
Yeah.
But the funeral was like a 3-day thing, so I get there on a Sunday. Monday is the first day of the funeral. Tuesday, Wednesday, so that's 5 days since it's happened. It happened Friday night. Saturday, sorry, I got there Saturday. Sunday is the kind of preparing for the funeral, which I had to help out with then, and doctor's not open anyway. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, funeral. So it's been 5 days. I'm like, this is really sore right now. Like, I think I need to see someone about it. So I go to a doctor on Thursday. In Ireland, they send me for a scan. This comes back around to the Dutch healthcare system, by the way.
Yeah.
Trust me. sent me for a scan. I've fully torn one ligament in my shoulder. One of them is strained. Interestingly, I didn't know what ligaments is. Once they're gone, they're gone. Like unless you're a professional sports person, they won't put them back because they're needed. But like if they're all gone, they'll put it back. But because you have two here, one of mine was strained and one of mine was gone. They're like, yeah, if you're not a professional sports person, there's no point. Like it's a very risky, intense surgery that puts your body under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So if you're really not going to be using your shoulder in a big, significant way for the rest of your life, it's not needed if you have one ligament there. Is what they told me, at least. So I got that scan, saw it, fucked up. I was flying back to the Netherlands on the Sunday, I think. Or a few days later. I go back there, I go to the doctor, I'm like, yeah, when I was in Ireland, I got this thing, they told me to go there. And I have another story about fucking the way the Dutch fucking work system with health works as well. I'm really bad to do with this. They're like, yeah, cool.
Just do a whole episode just talking shit about the Dutch healthcare system.
Yeah. But I went to see the GP, and then she was like, yeah, there's nothing I can do. Good that you let us know. Here's a document with an appointment on it. You can go anytime in the next month and a half between 9 to 5, and you'll be seen. And I went there. I didn't have to book in a time. I was just like, just go there, and they'll see you with this letter. So I went there, showed it to them. 15 minutes, they scanned my shoulder, told me I don't have to wear a sling anymore, and I got to leave.
So
my experience is that it's really good because I just got to pick when I went, and that was it. And I don't have special health insurance. I have the cheapest option, you know. So.
Wait, what is the cheapest insurance?
It's like $100 a month. But the government paid for it as well, so it's zero really. But,
yeah.
My thing about the, and I am conscious for this segment dragging a bit, but the thing about the working thing was I got my shoulder done. I went because my old work was at a restaurant beside the train station. So when I got in, I was like, hey, as you can see, this is fucked up. Here's a letter from my doctor in Ireland to say I can't work for a while. I will get a letter from the Dutch doctor when I go see them. He was like, oh no, you gotta go to a special doctor. I was like, what? He was like, you gotta go to a specific doctor that we pay to decide if you can work. And I was like, what do you mean?
Pay?
Like,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of bullshitty.
He was like, yeah, that we like that Happy Italy, so what company's called Hire, to go thing. And then I was like, okay, so like, where is it? Like, what do I do? And he's like, oh yeah, it's like 2 cities over. I was like,
oh my god,
what? I had to go to Almelo de Riet, by the way, for Humam mostly.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, you guys gonna pay for my train? He was like, nah. But if you don't, like, I was like, okay.
Should have just quit by like at that point.
Okay, but so I was like, what? I was like, okay, but like, you know, I'm scheduled in like now. Like, I obviously cannot come to work.
Mm-hmm.
And he was
as you can see here inside, things are fucked up.
Yeah. I had a sling. I had a sling on.
Just take out your shoulder.
Oh, okay. You actually had a sling.
Yeah.
Just take it out like, hey, you can have my shoulder. You can see that I'm not fucking faking it.
Yeah.
But you can carry a tray with the one hand, right?
But anyway, I went to the doctor. It was fine, but it was just like a pain in the ass, like having to go there and like I had a note from my own doctor, and like you can see it's fucked up, you know, whatever. And another thing that was weird with this situation was I went to the doctor or whatever, and this is all that happened when I went there. It's like a 40-minute trip, really, because there's a walk as well when you get to the station. It's like 25 minutes. It's like 20-minute walk, right? So that's that's 45-minute one way. So it's quite a long trip. I go there, the fucking guy. I sit down, don't take off my sling. I'm like, you need me to do anything stretch? He's like, no. He's like, what happened? I was like, oh, I tore a ligament. He's like, oh yeah, you can't work.
I knew it. I fucking knew it was gonna do that.
What the fuck is that about? You know?
Oh my
Sounds
God.
like you'll have to come see me again in in 5 weeks. I'm going to give you 5 weeks off, and then we can assess again, right? I was like, okay. I was like, but I'm not going to come here again. Like, this is bullshit. He was like, I think you might have to come here. I was like, no, just like, is it going to be the same as it is now? And he's like, yeah, it'll be the same idea. I was like, okay, then just fucking call me. I was like, if you schedule an appointment, I won't come. I was like, this job is not that important to me. He's like, okay, I'll ring you about it then. It's fine.
Damn.
So
that is so weird. Why in Almelo though? Like I thought.
Why do they have a separate doctor to verify that you can work or not?
That's
weird.
Like if I have a torn ligament, if I have a scan that you can look at the torn ligament, if I have a letter from a regular doctor, who, to be honest, probably has more fucking experience anyway, because they're a regular doctor who doesn't just assess people if they can work or not. Like, you know, like, come on. I understand, like, they don't want people forging it or whatever,
so
but
he's not an actual, like, is he an actual doctor, or is he just there to say that you can work or you cannot?
I think he's an arbo doctor, which is what it's called. I don't know what it stands for. Okay. But I think all they do, like, they're qualified doctors, of course, right? Okay. I think all they do is assess people for work injuries.
Okay, wow.
Because it's not like Happy Italy Arbo Doctor. It's like an Arbo Doctor company, and then they have a lot of companies that use them. It's fucking stupid.
He's basically a real life WebMD.
Well, not even, because he just said it can't work.
Well, if
I typed in, I have to carry things at work, but I have a torn shoulder ligament. Can I work? It would say no, right? So yeah, maybe he's WebMD.
The answer would be like, "Are you fucking stupid, bro?"
Yeah. I don't know. That was frustrating, but luckily now, like, you know, there would be very few injuries that wouldn't be like abundantly obvious that I couldn't do. Like, if I was in like a coma, obviously I couldn't do my job, but you know, I could probably still do my job one-handed. So if I tore ligaments, it would be okay.
Oh my God.
But interestingly, I actually did do the project one-handed then as well.
Yeah, I thought of a joke, but I don't know if I should say it.
What was the joke, Humam? Please share it.
Imagine if, like, Rob goes there fucking all Stephen Hawking on a computer and just like, "Hello, I cannot work," and they're like, "Oh, we can add an attachment to your chair."
we can have a Kinect to when you move your brain fucking cells, it can carry the plates.
We can have it connected when there's an order, it shocks you in the brain.
Okay. Any final thoughts on COVID? I think we could probably talk about this in the next one as well, but it may be a bit more about, like, you know, what we've been doing with lockdown and how we'll, like, you know, how we deal with it.
Well, basically, I want to finish it off. Just like no one's safe from COVID. I don't know why people. I think people shouldn't really look at the age group that much, because I think it hits people differently. So it could also get young people. You know what I mean? I've also heard stories in Bulgaria that people at 19 who are athletic and stuff like that die from COVID.
Yeah.
So for me, when I got pneumonia, I was like, shit's careless. I was like, pneumonia is like the last level, man. That's the boss level. I can get fucking hit right here. And the weirdest thing about me, because my experience with COVID was that I got a high temperature. All right. The next day, I got pneumonia. All right, that's sick. Third day, no temperature. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Fourth day, I start coughing. I'm like, sick. Is this gonna be fucking pneumonia all day? Like, come at me. You know, I was kind of feeling good because I didn't have the other symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I start drinking antibiotics. I'm good. I got recovered from it like after 2 weeks, and then for some fucking reason, before I came to the Netherlands like 2 weeks ago, I lost my taste. I'm like, all right, sick. What the fuck is that? Like, I thought I should have been recovered. It's been done.
The virus is so fucking unpredictable. Like, there are some
people...
That's
the scary part.
There are some people who are still like, fuck... There's also like a thing called long COVID. And people like just have the symptoms like... But they gradually like fizzle out, but they have it for like more than 6 months. Yeah. Which is also like insane. And the most insane part about it is that doctors just don't know what the fuck to do about it. It's like... And
that's the other scary part.
Yeah, like people like, okay, why is this guy just like recovers in a week and I have to sit for a second? They're like, we don't know. We literally don't know. So
they're like that Tom and Jerry picture of like.
So just like wear your fucking mask. It's like, it's not just for you; it's also for everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys, and I have an answer that I want to hear.
All right.
And I'm actually going to cut. We need to cut the segment out if you guys answer incorrectly. Okay. Are you going to get vaccinated when it's offered to you?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get vaccinated. Fuck yeah, dude! Can't wait to listen Spotify ads in my head.
Yeah, me too, dude. I want to get chipped.
Yeah, I'm gonna get.
Well, for real though, because there is actually people that think that's gonna happen, right? So that's like.
Wait, you mean that it's gonna happen?
I think it's some sort of like control system. Like
here's my pitch. Here's my pitch. Yeah. If the government is gonna control you, what makes you think that they didn't do that already? Like, what if they don't put all that shit in your drinking water? What makes you think that...
there's also a yearly flu vaccine, you know?
Yeah. Like...
And I think to the people that think it's unsafe, like, okay, there's no super long-term studies done. on this specific strain of this vaccine.
Exactly.
But, so fair enough, there could be some long-term effects we don't know about. That's why at-risk groups like pregnant women, for example, are not being vaccinated now, because generally vaccines have different effects. So they're the last group of people to get vaccinated, because we will have, roughly 1 to 2 years of evidence. And even then they might say, let's wait.
Yeah.
But for normal people, it shouldn't have any effects, because it's a variant of a vaccine that's been in development for years. And the reason it's been so quick is twofold. Literally everyone wants to work on it. There's any scientist, any doctor right now wants to work on this, wants to work on this vaccine, because we really need it.
Yeah.
Second of all, every agency that would approve vaccines has put any other vaccine or medical thing on hold so they can get this done, the bureaucracy of it done, as fast as possible. It's not overlooking tests. It's just that there's so much people working on it, that there's so much evidence that would normally take 5 to 10 years to collect that we can do in a matter of months, because everyone's working on it.
Yeah.
And all the agencies, if a vaccine for COVID comes in, they drop what they're doing, and every single person in the agency will work on seeing if it's safe enough to approve it, and if it is, they'll approve it.
Yeah. It's just like we live in this age of it's some people think it's cool to have conspiracy theories about anything.
Don't get me wrong. I think we should question things that are handed to us.
Of course.
However, you need to read the evidence and look at what the rational answer is.
That's the problem. People do not read the evidence. They just think, and then they just read fucking WhatsApp groups, and then that's their evidence. So,
I feel like, I don't know, have you guys sensed there's a big shift to this exact conspiracy theories, and a lot of political stuff is really getting into our, not only recommendations on Facebook, on YouTube. I feel like the end of 2020, or at least I think from the beginning of 2020, there's been a lot of...
So I think the reason for that is...
weird stuff.
It's a couple of reasons, because so you have the virus, which in my opinion should not be a political issue, but it is, so there's nothing we can do about it. It is a political issue. People are being judged on how they dealt with the virus, which, to be fair, they should be, but it shouldn't be made a political issue like it has been. Second of all, I think that's because you have the ending of probably the most controversial U.S. presidential reign in history coming to an end, which was always, or either the tale was at the start and the middle of the year, it's either coming to an end or it's going to continue for another 4. And then the scary part of that was it could continue beyond, the 4 years, as was hinted at. And I think that's why we're seeing it so much, because I think even if you think back to 2008 when Obama was getting in, there was probably as much buzz, but social media wasn't as big. So you wouldn't have felt it in your daily life as much. But I think now, just because Trump is so controversial and polarizing, not just in the US, just around the world as well, that it engaged people that wouldn't normally be engaged. And then obviously social media is just every day hitting critical mass.
Yes.
Yeah, and exactly when lockdown happened, everybody's just sitting in front of their laptops and shit. But
exactly.
dude, I feel like there was a big boom in conspiracy theories and stuff like that. It's so weird. Recently, the Texas snow, where people were like, "Oh, the snow is not melting. They're putting up a lighter." Have you seen that video? It's fucking hilarious. Some people are making snowballs and then putting up a lighter, and they actually see dark stuff coming out of it.
That's fucking mud.
The soot.
That's what came out of Randy Orton's mouth on Raw on Monday.
They just call mud.
And fucking conspiracy theories are saying, "Oh, the snow is fake. The snow is fake. It's made out of aluminium.
Well, nobody's telling you to eat the snow. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know, but it's weird. It's all, and now we're seeing the effects of climate change, a lot more now.
It's just that everything is more easily accessible than it was before. I think conspiracy theories have existed for a long ass time, but the difference is we can find it pretty much in seconds. Google anything. Fucking there was remember the Chuck E. Cheese conspiracy theory? What the fuck is that? It became a fucking viral topic, and it's just this slice of cheese is bigger than this slice of pizza. And it's easy to, it doesn't happen with everyone, but if you get one smart person who knows how to just talk shit and look that he knows what he's talking about, then it's easy to fool just a number of people that are easily like you can make an impression on them easily, and then it's just that's just the dark side of social media, I guess.
I think 2020 has been the height of misinformation, like a big peak of just people.
But I think that's not. I think that is like also falls onto. Yeah, like I think the message hasn't always been clear from world governments as well about what the idea is. You know, I think it's pretty clear now what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the regards to the pandemic, but I think specifically in the beginning, and you can't necessarily place the blame on them. But I think the problem is no one knew at the time, but the message from the government seems pretty sometimes unclear and inconsistent. Like I think one weird thing with the rollback measures in the Netherlands now. Is like if you're under 27, you can do sports with the team.
That was I was like, what?
That's a super random. Like I think this is stuff like this gives people that believe in the real wacky conspiracy theories some sort of like validation, because to an objective person that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, if you were like younger than 40, you're like, oh, okay, that adds up. You know, like
I was like, at least
when you're getting above 40, you're kind of nearing the risk categories, but like 27.
At least tell us why is that?
Why it's 27? Yeah, I think the message could be clearer.
I didn't even know about it until yesterday.
I think an idea I have about it is it was announced yesterday. I think maybe it's to limit numbers in a certain way, but that is maybe not the most effective way to do it. So that is one example of the message being very unclear and seeming pretty nonsensical. To the average person, and it's because we don't have all the data, we don't have all the stats, we don't have all the insight from the medical officers. You know, there probably is a reason, but if you're already in that mindset of doubt everything rather than look at what's happening and then pick what to doubt, that's going to just send alarm bells in your head exploding. So I can sort of empathize with the people that are thinking that way, but I can't agree with what they think for the most part. But not that I would disagree with everything either. You know?
Like I think until today, the Netherlands doesn't publicly state how many people have recovered from coronavirus. Even if you look it up on Google, it just says how many people are had the virus and how many people died. But when it's recovered, it's just like a dash. And they explain that by saying that the reason they don't know is because they do not call people and ask them if they recovered. Which, I mean, I don't know how to feel about that, but like at the same time, you should at least have some sort of a...
You can make an estimate of the numbers of people that have died and had it,
because
right?
Because I was like, you know, at the beginning of the pandemic, at the beginning of lockdown, I was like, okay, maybe it makes sense. It's like too hectic for them. But now it's like, I think now there's more organization than it was before, and there's more room for them to know how to get this information, and just because like just look it up on Google, you'll never see how many people recovered. Which that's the thing that got me really scared, because I was like, what the fuck? Like no one is recovering at all in the Netherlands, and then I just looked it up, and it's because just the government doesn't want to say how much for some reason.
Either way, I think especially in the latter half of 2020 and 2021, the Dutch government is handling themselves fairly well these days. I think at the start, the strategy at the start was pretty unclear and inconsistent. I think that's partly due to the attitude of a lot of Dutch people, and the government knows that, I think, and this is not a bad thing, that Dutch people probably can't be 100% told to do something. They need to want to do it.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing. This is just the attitude of, from my perspective, of the nation. And that's very clear when they put the lockdown in and riots happened, which was incredibly stupid. And I think that's a whole bucket of words to get into.
Yeah.
But I think they've been a lot firmer in their stance of these are the measures, adhere to them.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can do this. And even in these recent measures, they said this is not necessarily the best thing for public health, but we empathize with the fact that it's really tough to have to stay inside all the time. So we're going to roll things back.
Yeah.
Please be responsible. If you're not responsible, we're going to have to go into a tougher lockdown again.
Yeah. And I read some rumors that there's a third wave happening in the Netherlands. I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, that is what the government says. And they basically said it's risky what we're doing, opening stuff up. Yeah. But we understand that we need to strike a better balance because, like we touched on a bit earlier with regards to cancer treatments, which is not going to come up from this thing, but I think suicide is also another thing that these rolling back these measures could help with. Yeah. The effects we can't quantify now because we're in it. It'll be a year's time before we're able to see, well, suicide rates increased by X amount. I'm not going to speculate.
Yeah.
But they definitely, I imagine they have increased.
80% of young people are suffering from burnout. And that's how we're going to finish this podcast, guys. Thank you for listening.
Maybe we can finish on something a bit lighter. I think we can talk about maybe next time we can talk a bit about our experience with the lockdown and sort of what we've been doing to cope with it a bit more. I think that could be interesting. I think the last thing I want to say on COVID is please listen to whatever your government is saying, and of course, if what your government is saying, go out and party, even though there's a lot of cases, then don't listen to them and stay inside. But for the most part, just follow the measures, ride it out.
Wear your fucking mask.
Wear your mask. Get vaccinated.
I'm not gonna put a muzzle, brother. You're muzzling our freedom of speech.
Get vaccinated when it gets offered to you, and but hopefully by the end of the year we can get together for Christmas and have a good New Year's Eve party as well.
And if that happens, live podcast in a theater. You guys are all invited. And by you guys, I mean like Rob and Nigel.
Exactly.
It's not an open invitation.
Fuck you, people. Like. I want to be near you guys before COVID, right? So. Alright, I noted that one thing that came up that I wanted to touch back on, maybe a lighter note. Raycon. Hit me with it. What's the story?
What's the story with Raycon, dude?
I just know that Ray J has started.
Ray J owns Raycon, or?
Yeah, that's why it's called Raycon, because, you know.
Yeah, it makes sense, but...
for people who don't know, which I will find it bizarrely weird, Ray J is the reason why Kim Kardashian rose to fame, because they filmed a pee-pee poo-poo video together.
A sensual video.
An intimate love.
But did he... So, like, obviously what happened after that was this site called Gawker got a hold of it and released it behind a paywall. So they made a lot of money from it.
Yeah.
And then Kim Kardashian sued, and that's kind of the basis of her fame. She was famous based on the video, the controversy, and she was already pretty wealthy. Her dad was Robert Kardashian, who represented OJ, pretty wealthy lawyer. But the money they got from that settlement of the video was really what pushed her personal wealth up and allowed her to. And I mean, fair play to her. She started a lot of really successful businesses from what I think a lot of people would consider a dark spot in her life. And so fair play. But I'm curious if Ray J also got some money out of that, because he's in the video too, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't looked him up, but he's when you watch YouTube videos and some people are like, "Oh, this video is sponsored by Raycon," just know that Ray J is behind all this, and I just thought it's funny. I don't know why. But that's pretty much it. Ray J, please sponsor us, guys. We love, as you can see, 2 out of 3
I'm wearing Raycons right now.
2 out of 3 people love like earbuds, so like just give it to us, bro. They're hidden inside the
deep inside
the ear caps.
This is the new Raycon Nano.
Yeah.
You cannot see it from my hair, but it's in there.
It's like the
Nigel has the PP Nano as well.
It's like the
shit! My headphones stopped working, guys.
See,
that's a good point to probably
see, guys,
call it, right?
that's why you need to buy Raycons. Because
listen, if we get 1,000 likes, we will release Ray J's new sex tape on our channel.
If we get 1,000 likes, we're gonna buy Raycons for ourselves.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a lot of shit, man. We got an OnlyFans. If we get 100 subscribers,
if we get 10...
what else we gotta do?
Your mic went out.
Yeah, your mic is out, Nigel. Yeah, we gotta start an OnlyFans. We gotta fucking... What else? If we get 1,000 subscribers, we gotta do nude photos. 100, we gotta do nude photos. By the way, sponsored by Discord. Not really.
You guys hear?
Yeah.
We can hear it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if we get 10 views, we're opening Fire Festival 2.
Yes.
And we're gonna do it in Enschede, in the fucking the lake.
Willem.
What is the name of the park that we went to?
Rutsbeek.
Yeah, we're gonna do it in Rutsbeek, Enschede.
But seriously, though, I think this is an interesting discussion. Like, how long have we been going? Like an hour 40 now?
An hour 30.
We got time. Keep it under 2. The bumper edition, season 1 premiere.
Hey, season 2.
Season 2. Technically, this is kind of season 3. If you take,
did you actually say season 1 premiere?
If we take like the boss period as we'll take that as the pilot.
These are the prequels. Yeah, pilot. All right.
Prequels. Pilot. That was the dark era, and then Rory and Owen kicked off the light era.
I think Boss was the prequel, and then Owen and Rory was the awkward spin-off, and then Nigel came out for like season 1.
Yeah, like Rory and Owen are like the Mandalorian.
I feel like now we're in the era where Ashton Kutcher joins 2.5 Men.
No, that was a shitty era though. Like this is gonna be this is the bumper edition. This is like Office season 2. You know,
this is Danny DeVito joining It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Exactly, it's Danny DeVito joining It's Always Sunny. It's the Office season 2 when they stop trying to mirror the British one. They do their own shit. It's fucking. It's the Attitude Era. It's fucking. What else we got here, boys? It's the moment you pinpoint Walter White turning into Heisenberg. It's season 2. We're gonna have. Maybe we can get some guests. We're working remote now. Maybe we can get Oliver back on and have an actual catch up and a podcast catch up.
Because we haven't spoken to him since the last podcast.
I haven't spoken to him since July.
Yeah, summer.
No. Yeah, July, I think. Or June, even? I don't know.
No, just summer.
Maybe we can get some guests. Maybe Mark Skipper, don't at me.
we have been promising Mark since the first episode of.
Yeah, never actually asked him though. I think we could get some people. We should get some people. Because we never had really anyone except for Oliver, right?
We should get random people.
But
I don't know.
Oliver is like what was his name? The guy who does the guy who does Trump on SNL.
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, he's the Alec Baldwin of the podcast.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. Speaking of SNL and Oliver, just gonna leave it there. Just gonna leave it there.
Well, I think we should do a re-record though, because I think the current cast has gone down in my estimation since then. You know.
So we were planning to do a 2-part podcast.
We were doing a 2-part because the first part was so fucking long already, and we got to like Eddie Murphy was like the first person we actually knew. So.
Were we gonna tier list every SNL cast member ever, and that happened before the lockdown, and ever since we just couldn't do part 2. So I think we're just gonna remake part 1. I do kind of actually want to suggest we steal a segment from the Cultaholic podcast. Humam. Which
I want to steal the Hall of Fame, but people don't vote in it. We just decide because we don't have any people to watch. And eventually, if we get people that actually watch,
how about we
let them vote on
we just do Hall of Shame, and then we just put the people that we hated the most the past
most in there. That could be good. That's a good spin, actually.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone this week though, really.
Well, I have one, and it's called.
Okay, Nigel, do you understand the concept?
Nope.
All right, so here's what we're gonna. So every week, so you want to do Hall of Fame or let's do Hall of Fame? I think it's because we can spin the Hall of Fame into a Hall of Shame later.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so basically every week you just nominate something that you want to be put into the GMCT Podcast Hall of Fame. It can be a person, it can be anything, and then you give why it should be in the Hall of Fame, and then we'll all give an argument, and then we'll decide what goes in.
But it could be anything, like even an event.
Whatever. You can be like fucking Pringles, because this week I had a lot of Pringles. It tasted good. But something better than that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, come on. You started. We'll do. This is season 2, the first real segment.
Hall of Fame. Are we actually starting now? Wow.
Let's do it.
That's how organic we are, guys.
We'll wrap the podcast on Hall of Fame every week.
We just come up with an idea and we start implementing immediately.
Just do it. Just do it.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna simp here a bit, and my Hall of Fame of the first Hall of Fame is just a show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So for Rob, I've been mentioning to him a lot about it, and just fucking fangirling about it a lot. And I know it's kind of obnoxious, but the show has 14 seasons, which can turn off a lot of people. But actually it does not drop in quality at all. And if you stick around until at least season 12 and you watch the finale of season 12, and if you don't cry, real tears, I don't know what's wrong with you, bro. Look it up. It's called, even if you just want to watch it out of context, it's pretty good. It's called Mac Finds His Pride, sorry. Look it up, watch it, and then send me a picture of you crying on
yeah, and we'll put it on our OnlyFans.
On Tinder. I don't know. Yeah.
All right. That's a solid argument, but I'm gonna go for a more general one, and yeah. I think because if we have time to prepare for the next one, like we can, we'll have more time to come up with more specific ones to that month / week.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna nominate Homer Simpson because he's the greatest cartoon character of all time.
Cool. Why do you think so?
Well, okay, so I think just in the dynamic of The Simpsons, there's a very interesting transition that happens to every, at least, young boy that watches Simpsons from when they're a kid to when they grow up. So I think when you're a kid, you always think Bart is the funniest and best character. Because he's like, oh, I want to be like Bart, whatever. And then just at a certain point, you're just like, it's Homer. Like, Homer is the main... Like, I think everyone thinks Bart's the main character when they're a kid, right?
Yeah.
But eventually, like, you go back and you watch episodes, you're like, no, it's Homer. Like, I relate to Homer. He's a good... Like, he's just such a lovable idiot. Like, he's so... Like, I think... when you look at something like Family Guy, they have a really similar character. Like, Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson are really similar. And Peter Griffin's a parody of Homer Simpson, like, obviously, right? But I think a lot of what Peter Griffin does comes across as, like, nasty, you know? Like,
it's selfish. It's more selfish.
It's selfish, and like, he does it out of... He has a bad intention when he does it, you know? Like, I think Homer is always trying to do something good, you know? He's always trying to... What he thinks is the right thing for his family... And like he's just, and not because he's not the brightest person. It's it works and it creates funny situations. I think the times when they play with his morality, like for example, there's the episode where he with Mindy where they go to Capital City and maybe he's thinking about cheating on marriage, and then eventually he doesn't. But like that makes the stage so much higher because like you're so invested. And you're like, no, like I feel like I'm Homer. Like I could be this guy. And he's gonna like fucking go and do this to Marge, who's like an amazing wife, right? And I think it asks some fascinating questions as well. The Simpsons is just the greatest animated show of all time, but he is probably, I would say, the premium, top tier animated character, and America's greatest dad.
Hey, what happened to that show, American Dad? Are you still going?
Maybe.
In Cleveland, we had the Cleveland show. Oh, there's also another show made by Matt Groening, or shit, I don't know how to pronounce
Futurama.
it. No. This Disenchantment.
Oh yeah, the first season is pretty. The first season is pretty good. The second one is kind of.
There's actually
anyway, Nigel.
There's an animated series on Netflix. I forgot to say. I think it's called Balls. It's about like
about pee-pee and poo-poo.
Basketball, like high school.
Basketball
high school trainer.
It's about a racially ambiguous basketball player from Bulgaria.
Wait, what's it called?
I think it's called Balls.
Nigel, have you ever seen Mr. Woodcock?
No.
It's like a teen comedy about a basketball coach.
What the fuck was
basketball?
Mr. Woodcock
series Netflix.
While Humam is finding this, Nigel, what is your Hall of Fame nomination for this?
Oh, it's called Hoops.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't that good. Is it actually good?
It was pretty entertaining. Starring my boy Jake Johnson, aka Peter B. Parker. So he's always a Charlie character, a yeller. Just if you guys know who Charlie Day is, just look him up as well. He's just that character.
The man whose character is shouting.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Anyway, Nigel, what's your Hall of Fame nomination?
Okay, it's gonna be Disco Elysium. So Umam gifted me the game Disco Elysium. Such a good game.
Kindness, just to be clear.
Out of kindness, yeah, because he's a good friend. It's a very good game. I really recommend it to anyone that wants to just relax and have a fun puzzle, point and click, with a very nice world, interesting lore. Very chill. Makes me sleepy because there's a lot of reading in this game, but super entertaining. Recommended. Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's the only thing that is kind of throwing me off. Not because I hate reading, but like I just feel now I don't
It's
have
too much.
I don't have the attention span to just sit down and read.
Exactly. It's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much of reading, not a lot of doing. But it's super fun, like, just to explore the world and just listening. And just story-wise.
It looks pretty interesting. I want to check it out someday. But now the next game on my radar is Ghost of Tsushima. I want to get that done. Because I just finished The Last of Us Part 2. I have some thoughts about it, but maybe that's for
we'll talk about that later.
For another podcast, but yeah.
Okay, so we have our 3 nominees. How do you guys want to shoot this? Because the way they do it on Cultaholic is people vote, but I don't think we can rely on people to vote at the moment. Particularly especially with this coming back and 0 people can watch this realistically.
So wait, they vote on which one actually goes to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I think all of them are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because we're all inclusive,
they're all winners,
guys.
This is our competition.
No, we gotta vote. We gotta vote.
We just like random picker or something.
No. So, Humam, were you nominating the specific episode or the show?
That's a good question, actually. I would say the whole show. But in case you feel turned off by how many episodes there are, just that episode.
What are you nominating? What are you nominating?
The show, the whole show.
The show.
Yeah.
I will go for it. Always Sunny over my pick. Then.
Okay. Nigel?
I'm choosing the game.
You still lose because it's 2-3, I guess. Right? 2-1.
Fuck is this shit then?
Wait, you can't.
Are we gonna vote? Just fucking.
How about you don't vote for your own thing?
Then we're gonna get caught in a 3-way tie every week.
All right.
I choose Always Sunny in Philadelphia because wait, no, I choose Homer Simpson because I agree with Rob said. He's a very lovable character.
And for me,
except for that Halloween episode where he tried to kill his family.
The Treehouse of Horror don't count.
Alright.
Well, for me, I'm biased. I'm gonna choose It's Always Sunny because, guys, you need to watch it.
Hey, you cannot vote for your own thing, right?
No. We just said no.
All right, we got to develop a better system to do this. So I will agree with you this week. All 3 in the Hall of Fame to get a solid base. We have decreed it, and we'll come up with a better system. Maybe what we could do, here's an idea. We just individually put them on our Instagram stories. Or one of us puts it on our Instagram story every week.
Okay.
As a poll, right? There you go. But this week, to get the Hall of Fame as a solid base, we'll put all 3 in.
All right.
So your first monthly Hall of Fame inductees are Homer Simpson. It's always funny in Philadelphia. Always funny in Philadelphia.
It's always funny in Philadelphia.
It's always funny. Okay. And Disco Elysium. Let's get some nice graphics on screen. Can you make a Hall of Fame graphic where we have each? Go for it. Have fun.
Hall of Fame.
Yes. No. I mean, not live. It's fine. I mean, in the edit.
I'm just gonna play the Hall of Fame song by the script. Just.
Well, if you want us to get claimed.
Put it really loud and just like it's like over our voices and we're just talking. Yeah. Yep. All right.
So that was episode 1, season 2 of the GMCT podcast.
And thank you guys for watching along, for listening. Hopefully, with time progression, I'm gonna be better at being the Jamie. But
I hope. Well, me and Nigel hope so too.
but
yeah, also hopefully, pending some discussion and some government rollback of measures, we will be able to do a in-person and possibly live-streamed podcast.
Yes, for only
in the next
one person.
In the next month or so. Next 2 months, sorry.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah. So, Dutch government, we're giving you enough time. Make up
your mind. Listen, everyone wants it. The ball's in your court. And you saw what happened in Eindhoven a couple of weeks ago. So.
Jesus.
I can't wait for the FBI to come in, fellas. Expect some guests. I didn't say anything. I'm not connected to these guys.
All right, good. I'm going to steal a saying from my mentor at my company. I'm not. Never mind.
Hey, stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe. Stay sound.
Please subscribe. Follow us on the links in the description. There's going to be a bunch of them this week. And also make sure you follow me because I'm going to be posting the polls for the Hall of Fame so you can actually have a hand in choosing what the fuck goes in the Hall of Fame? If we even remember the segment next week.
I will remember the segment
or next
month. Next month. And we will see you with possibly another video. Well, when are we uploading this? We're going to make you commit to a date. Give me the date, the day, and the time.
No.
Yes.
All right. So to end this in true GMCT fashion, Rob, give us your scream.
I can't. Can I? It's late.
Give us a light one.
For those OG fans, we're ending season 2, episode 1, like we started season 1, episode 1.
It all a full circle. Bye.